Previously, we saw how the firmware update method works on a ESP32 using the HTTP protocol by submitting a binary file on a form. Now we're going to see if it is possible to send a bin file to the same ESP32 but to update the firmware of another device, that in this case is another ESP32. There are three aspects that we have to review if we want to implement this method. The first one is the HTTP protocol that is used to send the bin file to the programmer through a submit form, sending this file in small fragments until the process is completed. The second aspect is the SPI Flash File System that is used to save the bin file inside the flash memory of the programmer. Finally, the third aspect is the bootloader. The bootloader is a piece of code responsible for loading the firmware into the memory during the device startup. ESP32 devices normally have these two inputs, the enable or reset pin, used to reset the device by hardware, and the IO0 or boot pin, used to set up the device into boot mode, along with the reset pin. To allow the boot mode on device, it is required that the reset pin is set to ground, and also the boot pin is set to ground. After that, the device will enter into boot mode, waiting for serial commands from the programmer in order to initialize the updating process to send the bin file in small fragments. Once the whole bin file is sent, we have to reset the device by hardware, and then the firmware will start executing in the device. Knowing this, let's start by updating the firmware of the programmer. Let's press on Update Firmware, and now we're going to select the version 2 of the firmware that contains the option to update the external devices. Once completed, the device restarts and is going to connect to Wi-Fi, and now is set up. Now we're back to options, and we can verify that the firmware is updated. Now we are going to update the firmware of the external device. For that, we press here, and we have the same submit form, but in this case, we're going to submit another firmware. What is the goal here? The goal is change the duty cycle of the LED to change from 1 second to 100 milliseconds. For that, we're going to select this firmware, and now we're going to start sending this file to the programmer. As we can see, this process is the same of updating the firmware of the programmer. But in this case, we save the bin file inside the flash memory in order to send it to the device on the next process. Once completed, the programmer is going to send the bin file to the ESP32 device. As we can see, it has synchronized with the ESP32 and is sending the bin file through serial and set up the device in boot mode, and now is sending the bin file. On the serial, we can see the progress, and also we can see that on the ESP32 there is a blue LED blinking, indicating that it's receiving the information, and we can see that the LED is blinking with a higher speed. Now, if we want to come back to the old version, then we select this firmware, we press on update, and we wait for the process to be completed. That in this case, what it's going to do is just set the duty cycle on to 1 second. After completing the process, the programmer is going to do the same method. It's going to detect the device, synchronize with it, and then send the bin file obtained in this on the submit form. And we can see that the blue LED on the device is blinking, indicating that it's receiving the bin file. And once completed the process, we can see that the LED is blinking now with a 30 cycle of 1 second. And this is how the process of updating firmware for external device works with the ESP32.